Hey there, folks, welcome back. This is the Tony Viz. I'm here with my Impact recap. Let's see what we got here. Overall, I had its ups and downs this week. Alright, and with that said, let me just get right into the show here. Okay, so it started out, the champ, Bobby Roode, comes out, bragging about how he's the greatest, most dominant champion in the history of TNA. He talks about how he took out Ken Anderson, Jeff Hardy, and RVD, and he says that in 2 weeks he will officially be the longest running TNA champion ever, outlasting guys like AJ Styles, Sting. I think he might have thrown Kurt Angle in there too. I don't remember. Then he says that in 3 days RVD will face the It Factor of Impact Wrestling, whatever, and he says that if RVD thinks he's going to win the title, he's mistaken. And he says that there's no one or nothing that can stop. He says there's no one or nothing that can stop him from world title domination. Then he comes out, goes after Roode for a bit. Roode bails, goes out of the ring, heads up the ramp. As he's heading up the ramp, Ken Anderson comes up from behind, throws Roode back in, and then he goes after Roode also. Then Jeff Hardy comes out, and Roode gets triple teamed for a bit. Also at the time, and then Hardy and Anderson go at it since they have the match scheduled for Sacrifice. So they went at it, and RVD and Bobby Roode went at it at the same time and everything. So then the security of Al Snow, D'Lo Brown, and Pat Simon Diamond Kenny, who I don't know if he has a problem these days, came out to break it up. Then we hear the NWO Hulk Hogan music, and he comes out and says, "I like what's going on here, brother." And then he says that I got an idea here, but I need RVD to agree to it, dude. And then he says I'm gonna make a four-way, and I need RVD to agree to it. So he wants to make a four-way: RVD, Ken Anderson, Bobby Roode, and Jeff Hardy. And the winner each gets something. The thing, if Anderson or Jeff Hardy win, they take Van Dam's spot in the title match at Sacrifice. If RVD wins, he gets to pick the stick for the match. And if Bobby Roode wins, he gets to pick who he'll defend against at Sacrifice. So Hogan asks RVD, "Are you willing to make the sacrifice, brother?" And RVD thinks about it for a bit and is like, "Yeah." So he agrees to it. Mixed bag opening segment, I thought. Roode cut a good promo talking, the guy's a great heel, and been a great champion and everything, and RVD and Hardy and Anderson coming out for the brawl was good stuff too. Hulk making the four-way, it was a little weird for me because it's like I don't know the match. The match I think is and the match actually looked pretty good. But, I'm not into the whole stick where it's like, okay, if this it's like, they have an announced match, in this case, Van Dam and Roode, and it's like, if Jeff or Anderson win, they change up, then they're going to take his slot, It's like, I don't like the whole, it's like, okay, if you win, if this guy beats the number one contender, because I've done that before, too, it's like, oh, yeah, the number one contender's putting his contender spot on the line, and he's, it's just, I find that to be a little ridiculous. But overall, it was a decent segment. Then they show Billy Ray backstage, and he was saying that Austin Aries made a lot of negative comments to him last week, and then, which is really, it was great heel stuff from Bubba Ray Dudley here. He's saying he's tired of Austin Aries bullying him, and he's not going to take it anymore. And he says that Austin Aries is the real problem, and he's going to take him out later, and he's telling him to watch what he's going to do later on in the show. Good stuff there from Bubba. Then we get to something weird here. We go Madison Rayne and Gail Kim backstage. Gail Kim is saying that Brooke might have beaten her 3 times in non-title matches and a tag match, but when the belt's on the line this Sunday Sacrifice, Brooke can't beat her. And then Madison's over there looking at her wardrobe, and she keeps asking, "How's this look? How's this look?" And then Gail asks, "Look, all right, what's going on?" And Madison says it's some guy or whatever. And then Gail says that she wants to see the Brooke Tessmark and Velvet Sky match. So she walks out of the dressing room while Velvet keeps fading on her wardrobe. Kind of a meaningless segment. Then I had Brooke Tessmacher against Velvet Sky, which I don't even know why they had the match. Since they teamed up last week against Madison and Gail, I believe. And I mean, I don't know why they had the match, but it was still a good match. It was good, decent stuff. Brooke Tessmacher eventually got the win. Then afterwards, Gail Kim came out and hit Brooke in the back of the head with the belt. Then she gives Brooke her eat defeat finisher, and then stands over screaming at Brooke, calling her a piece of trash. It was good heel stuff from Gail Kim. By the way, she just recently married that chef guy, Robert Irvine. So congrats to them. Backstage, AJ Styles, the cameraman is asking him if he's got any comments on the so-called secret that Kazarian and Daniels have over him. And Angle says he's just focusing on his match with Kurt Angle at Sacrifice. And as far as the so-called secret goes, he has no comment on that. Okay. Then we go to Jeff Hardy backstage in the locker room talking about the four-way main event. And then he says that he has a chance to end the Selfish Generation if he wins here. Then he can beat Rupert Belt and what have you. So, next match was supposed to be the final confrontation, Matt Morgan versus Crimson. But as Matt Morgan came out, Bubba Ray came out, attacked Morgan with his chain, with his chain. Then he screams at the SoCal Val Christy Hemme to get out of the way. He gets a chair. Suppose it hits Morgan over the head with it, but I think it hit the turnbuckle or something. Then he tells Ray says to the camera that to Austin Aries that's going to be him. And then Al D'Lo and Simon Diamond come out again. They check on Matt Morgan, whose head is busted open from the chair shot. And Ray tells D'Lo and the other guys, "Hey, don't touch him, man. This is going to be you guys. I'm going to crack your heads open or whatever." So and then they go to commercial. So they come back from commercial, and they show what happened during the break was Matt Morgan being placed on a stretcher and being wheeled out of the arena. Yeah. So then we go back to the live stuff. I say live in quotes because it was just tape. Anyway, so then Crimson says that week after week Morgan said that he would be the guy to make Crimson pay and be the first guy to end his undefeated streak. And he says that Matt Morgan couldn't even make it to the ring. And then he tells the referee, "Hey, let's get him to a 10 count to get back in the ring." So then he makes the referee call for the bell, and the referee counts Morgan out. So Morgan is counted out. Crimson is still undefeated. It was good stuff. I like this. Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley, him coming out and doing coming out and attacking Morgan and that kind of stuff. And I think Crimson is actually been good so far in this smug heel character. It's like and being the arrogant heel. Bragging about being undefeated when it's like he really didn't. It's like didn't even have to win. Didn't even wrestle Morgan here, but it was good stuff. Then they showed the first of two parts of Rob Van Dam video package. He was talking about risking it all to stand out. Just saying how he got into business and everything. And he says that he knows what he's sacrificing. And later on, he was saying it's like to be a wrestler in general that you have to. There's a lot of sacrifice involved in that. Good two segments, good video packages there. Then they showed Daniels and Kazarian backstage, and Daniels is telling Kazarian that AJ isn't their friend and this and that, and Kazarian has second thoughts about revealing AJ's secret. And then they head to the ring. Okay, it was kind of, Then Van Dam's backstage talking about the four-way. He's saying he knows he can beat the other three guys. He's done it before. He says he can do it again. And then he mentioned that if he wins the four-way later on, then his match with Rude Sacrifice will be a ladder match. Okay, another good opening. I'll be alright, I hope. So then, that was a good short segment for a good short backstage segment. Then we go to, good God, what the hell is this? Christopher Daniels and Kazarian come out. Daniels gets the mic and says he hasn't heard from AJ all week. He said he gave him a week to reveal his secret, and he's going to give him one last chance for AJ to set the record straight himself. So then AJ doesn't come out right away. So then Daniels says he's gonna spill the beans, let's count out the bag, whatever have you. Then get ready to fly. AJ Styles comes out, not in wrestling, of course. And he gets the mic and says that all this crap needs to stop now, because they're both about to make the biggest mistake of their lives. And then Kazarian says that AJ made the mistake, Kazarian says that, you know, it's like at first he was trying to protect AJ, but then when he saw the so-called proof of AJ's mistake, he figured, why bother? So then they take out a picture, and it's a picture of AJ and Dixie Carter somewhere. I mean, this is the first of 3 pics. The first is the two of them standing somewhere, and Daniels was like, you know, it's like, is that you and Dixie? And they're like, yeah. And Nate's like, yeah, that's Dixie and me, so what? Yeah. And then he said, Daniels like, that's not the only pic I got. He takes out a second one, and it's like AJ kind of like making a play for Dixie or whatever. You know, he's got his hands on her, like on her face or whatever. You know, it's like going like, doing that kind of stuff. Then finally they have the third pic, and it shows AJ, kissing Dixie Carter. I'm imagining and yes, I'm Italian. FBI. So then Daniel says that since day one, AJ Styles has been the poster boy of TNA, and he said when he looks at this picture, he says, "What's the old saying? A picture's worth 1,000 words." So then Kazarian and Daniels drop the pics on the ring, leave them in the ring, and then they throw out, they walk out, and AJ's all in disbelief, and it's like, it's like, this is just beyond ridiculously idiotic. You know, it's just like, like I said, these guys, AJ, Kazarian, and Daniels, they've been, they got their national claim to fame in TNA on the national level. AJ Styles has been there since day one. Daniels has been there for the most part since the company started. So has Kazarian. And it's, it's like the guys are really great workers. They've had great matches in the past. Styles and Daniels have had some awesome matches. I saw one live a couple of years ago. It was really good. And it's like they have these really free, talented in-ring performers, and this is the wrestle crap storyline that they come up with for them. Oh, good God, it was just so stupid. Who the hell came up with this with these guys, and why are they sticking them in this stupid storyline when they can, it's like when they to do better for them. That was just so fucking stupid. Speaking of stupid, then we go to not so much the match, but then we go to Devon once again defending the TV championship against Robbie E. Short match. Devon got the pin right away. Then afterwards, Rob Terry power slams Devon. Okay. Then later on, Devon was backstage saying that if Robbie E and Rob Terry want the TV title back, then to bring it at Sacrifice, and he challenges them to a 3-way at the pay-per-view. Wonderful. It's just like, this happened a couple segments later. This backstage promo from Devon, but it's just like, are there going to be any other guys for Devon to face besides Rob Terry and Robbie E? Hopefully, it's like a Sacrifice. Devon will just, Devon will retain the title and then move on to whoever. So in between those two segments, we had they had the James Storm video package from in his barn or wherever, and he was talking about how saying that in lockdown he didn't get the job done, and he felt he let his hometown fans and his family down and everything, and he was saying that the hardest part is that Rude didn't really cheat to win, because he cost himself one because he super kicked Rude, and Rude just fell out the cage door. And then he was asking himself, if he should continue wrestling. He says, it's like wrestling is something he's always wanted to do all his life, and now he's second guessing himself. And he said that, it's like he's asking himself, is it worth it? And he said, it's like not winning the world title in his hometown kind of struck a nerve. Good stuff from James Storm here. It's like, if they build to Storm and Rude at either Slammiversary or Bound for Glory, hopefully it'll be good. The match could be good, and we'll have the finish of. And I would think of James Storm winning the belt, but they're giving us a nice build. Then they go to Joseph Park backstage, and he asks some guy which way the ring is. It was like, hey, which way is the ring? Is it that way? The guy said, no, it's that way. It's like, I thought that was idiotic. It's like, come on. It's like, the guy doesn't know how to get to the freaking ring. Give me a break. So, and then they have a video package recapping the whole Joseph Park looking for Abyss storyline. Okay. Then Joseph Park comes out to the ring, and he makes like he doesn't know how to get in the ring, and he's standing, it's like he climbs up the steel steps, and then it's like he doesn't know how to go in the ring through the ropes and shit like that. And then he gets in the ring, and he finally starts talking. He's got without a microphone. He's like, oh, thank you everybody, thanks Hulk Hogan, blah blah blah. And then it's like, and then finally someone at ringside, gives him a mic, and he acts all impressed about being in the Impact Zone. He's like, well, so this is the Impact Zone. You know, like he's saying, I watch my brother have a lot of matches in this place. I watch a lot of his, his videos or whatever, and he always tore this place down. And then he thanks Hulk Hogan for letting him come out and speak, and he says that he's been looking for his brother, Chris Abyss, whatever. And he says that every clue that he's gotten during the investigation, the common thread has always been Bully Ray. And then he says that he tells Ray or whatever that he's not going away, he's not going anywhere until he gets answers. And then he says that he saw outside the Impact Zone, he saw a sign that was advertising the Sacrifice pay-per-view, and he was saying, he was like, I might just get a ticket and come and see the show. And then Bubba Ray comes out, and he says, it's like to end it, to cut out the load, to cut those shit out. This is a load of crap. And he says that, he says it's not something right with Joseph and Abyss. And Ray asks him, he's like, is this like a courtroom to you? He's like, no, this is the courtroom. This is a wrestling ring. You got no business being in the wrestling ring or even in the wrestling arena. Yeah, very long. I mean, I said before, I just said it before, I'll say it again. Bubba Ray is a great heel. So then Ray talks about what he did to Matt Morgan earlier on, taking him out, and he asks Joseph Park how he'd feel if it were him that Ray took out. So and then Joseph mentions that when the Abyss was last seen, it was in a match against Bubba Ray, and then he says like, hey, remember a couple weeks ago when your former partner that you had for 20 years, Devon, called you out and beat you, and then he said, oh, remember last week when Austin Aries called you out, and he's half your size and he beat you too. And then the fans start chanting, you're a loser at Bubba Ray, and then Joseph Abyss, Chris Park, has got this look on his face like, hey, I didn't tell him to say that. And then he asks Bubba, hey, how's the bully thing working out for you? Then Ray shoves him down. He's like, that's how it's working out for me. It was this whole, it's like, Chris Park or Joseph, whatever his name is, having him play his own brother, looking for his other character. I just think it's kind of stupid, but Ray with the Ray stuff was good, but it was just like, I don't know. This segment was kind of, I don't know, not really that, I wasn't really that into it. I mean, Ray's, it's like, Bubba Ray, pretty much saved the segment, I thought. So then we go to Ken Anderson backstage, mentioning the Forward 2, and he mentions that, like if he wins, Jeff will have to, his match with Jeff Hardy Sacrifice won't happen because, and that Jeff will have to step aside if he, because, and then he says at Sacrifice he's taking his title back. Okay, that was nice and short. And then we go to Kurt Angle backstage, and he's saying that AJ should be focusing on the match on Sunday at Sacrifice. And then he says afterwards, once he's healing up in the hospital, recovering from broken bones and everything, he can think about the allegations that Kazarian and Daniels mentioned all he wants. Okay, good short promo, good way to build, decent way to continue to build to their match. Then they show the clip of Hulk Hogan making his debut from January 4th, 2010, when TNA had started the ill-fated reincarnation of the Monday Night Wars. Okay, so with 10 years of TNA, so they show a clip, and they show that one second. This was, last week they showed Jarrett and Raven from 2003, and this week they show Hulk Hogan. Whatever. Then we have more of the Rob Van Dam video that I mentioned earlier, where he says there's a lot of sacrifice of being in the wrestling business. It takes a lot of sacrifice to be a wrestler in general. Then we get to the four-way, Van Dam, Anderson, Hardy, and Rude. Van Dam gets the pin on Bobby Roode after the 5-star. I think it was a good match. What happened was, I think Rude was going to go for the perfect plex, and then Jeff Hardy countered, gave Rude the twist of fate that was into more of a stunner than a Stone Cold Stunner than a diamond cutter. Then Ken Anderson gave Rude a mic check, and then Hardy and Anderson brawled with each other, and they both toppled out of the ring. And then that let RVD hit the 5-star frog splash and got the 3 count on Rude. So RVD and Bobby Roode for the title at Sacrifice, they'll do a ladder match. And RVD, of course, conveniently there's a ladder under the ring, and RVD he pulls it out, and he sits on top of it and poses. And while this is happening, Hardy and Anderson also stare each other down, and they're kind of like pissing with each other. So that, because their match is happening too. Then all of a sudden, the red lighting goes on, and then Abyss's music hits, and there's Abyss on the stage, and he says that his little brother Joseph is getting too close to the fire, and he warns him to back off before he gets burned. And that was the end of the show. Like I said, the 4-way match was good. I think this Abyss stuff is really weird. I mean, I have no idea what the hell they're doing here. No TNA, they might not know what the hell they're doing either. But, it's really weird, I just like the whole thing of having this, Abyss play his own brother is crazy. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I hope that they don't do something stupid like, like Austin Aries versus Bubba Ray. If Abyss is going to interfere, I hope it's after the match or whatever and not during it. But, it's like, knowing TNA, they'll probably do something to try to swerve the internet fans or whatever. And I just got this bad feeling that they might turn Abyss heel. I hope to God it doesn't happen, but I got that scary feeling. So overall, I thought the show, like I say, it had its ups and downs. I thought they did an okay job building to. I thought they did a decent job building to Sacrifice on the go home edition of Impact. So the RVD Bobby Roode ladder match. That's going to be. I thought they did a good job building that. The tag titles, they didn't really build up. I don't know where the hell Joe and Magnus were. God knows why they weren't on the show this week. So I guess So I don't know why they weren't there. The 4-way was a good match. The opening segment, like I said, had its ups and downs. Roode cut a good promo. Hogan is Hogan. He talked a little too much like usual. And so there was some good stuff. I forgot to mention Austin Aries and Zema Ion had a match too. And good back and forth. Good 4-minute match. And Austin Aries got the win, retain the X title. So that was pretty much it. Aries and Ion was good. I thought Brooklyn Velvet was decent too. The whole AJ Styles segment with Daniels and Kazarian, that was just terrible stuff. Bubba is really awesome heel. He's like the best one there. And Crimson actually was good too in the whole, being the whole cocky undefeated heels and stuff like that. So overall, I thought, it's like I said, there was some good and there was some not so good on the show. But, I thought it was watchable. I mean, hey, I sat through it. So, like I said, the RVD video packages were good and everything. I have no idea what to do with Madison Rayne here. And I don't even know if they know either. So I'll about do it, like I said. So this Sunday is Sacrifice. I don't think I'll be watching it. But the lineup, it will be, it will be Rob Van Dam versus Bobby Roode for the title in a ladder match. Samoa Joe and Magnus defending the tag titles against Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. Brooke Tessmacher will challenge Gail Kim for the Knockouts title. Austin Aries will face Bully Ray. Of course, it's non-title since Bubba's not an X Division guy. AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle. Should be a good match. Should be, from an in-ring standpoint. Jeff Hardy versus Ken Anderson. That could be good too. And then we got the TV title three-way, Devon versus Robbie E versus Rob Terry / Robbie E. And might be another match on that too. I'm just trying to figure out that off the top of my head, but I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, TNA, it's like they don't really put a lot of thought into the pay-per-views and stuff, but we'll see what happens. So I guess that'll about cover for right now. That'll do for me for now. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow or sometime over the weekend with a SmackDown post video, post SmackDown video. And that'll about do it. So again, thanks to all the other YouTube users who added me as contacts. Thanks a lot. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. I'm glad to know you guys are watching me and find my stuff. Enjoy watching and hearing my recaps. So thanks a lot. Keep them coming. And obviously feel free to leave a comment as you see fit. And you can check out my blog site. You can click on the link to my site, tonyviz.blogspot.com. And I give a very in-depth recap of the shows, of all 3 shows, and that'll about do it. So hopefully over the weekend, I'll be back with a SmackDown show, and I'll also be watching the Evolve Internet pay-per-view that's on tonight. I don't know if I'll be doing the video, but I'll be watching that tonight at 8 o'clock. So that'll do it. All right. So until hopefully over the weekend, if I don't get around to SmackDown video, maybe I'll definitely be back on Tuesday with a post-Raw video. So until then, this is the Tony Viz, and that'll about do it. Take care, everybody.